I got this book a while back, Making Mechanical Marbles in Wood. It's written by Raymond Levy. It was first published in 1991. I plan on making some of these projects in the future. But what I came across, in the back he has a plan to make a small wedge vise, and that's what I'm making today. The pictures are awfully faded, so it's hard to see on here, but he's got a good set of plans within the book, and that's what I'm working off of. So I've got my pieces all cut, and I created this because I needed a 19-degree angle. I did this on the miter saw. This is the 3.5 by 14 and 1/8 inch board. I made a mark 6 inches from the edge, and now I need to have a 19-degree angle from here to this point. What I've done is put a board here so I can butt this up against it and butt this up against, and then run a ruler until it crosses that 6-inch mark, and then I can hold that down while I make my mark. So I have to cut this angle out, and to do that safe on the table saw, what I've done is I've screwed a block of wood here and here, which will help me to align this so that this line is right on the edge of this board. I've got these pieces of plywood here, and I'm going to screw them in to this board to help secure it down. I won't have to have my fingers near the blade when I'm pushing this through. So here's what I have so far. Got two pieces. They'll end up getting glued together here like that. Now I need to make the wedge out of this piece that will go in there. I will use this board to determine that angle. Put this up against. Put this here. So now what I have to do is I have to create a dado in here for that wedge step piece to slide in. I've got a dado stack in here. It's 3/8 inch wide, and I'm going to need to run it through twice to make sure it's centered. I've got this feather board here, so it'll keep it against the fence. And I'm going to make sure that my hands stay up here. I don't want to get down close to that moving blade. I will have this hand pushing against as well, because as this goes through, it's going to get bigger and bigger here. I'm going to need to apply some pressure up above here as well as I push through. So going this way shouldn't be a problem. Going this way could be a little tricky. I think I'll be fine. Again, keep my fingers here. And then I'm just going to make sure I apply some pressure with my thumb back here as I go through, and making sure that I'm quite a ways away. So I've added this wood fence here. I just had the blade running and I dropped it down so I can reference off of this face, and then the blade is right up into that blade. It's a safe way of doing that. And then I lowered the blade down a little bit. I'm going to sneak up on it. I'm going to run this through both ways, and what I want it to do is to be a perfect fit in there. So alright, so I need to make a little change here. And I'm supposed to glue these together here, and then when you use this, once it's glued, you'll be able to use this as your wedge. This piece is supposed to nestle down into there. So I'm not sure if I made a mistake somewhere or what, but so I've got one of two ways of solving this. I could either cut here, and that way this could get by. But the way I think I'm going to do this, I just have another piece of oak. This happens as red oak. This is white oak here. It'll be a little contrasting, and that's okay. I'm going to glue that right in here, and then that way that gives me enough space once that's all glued up to come all the way in there. It's about 1/8 of an inch there. I can't imagine having to plane up anything smaller in width than 1/8 of an inch. And if I do, I can always put a small piece in there. All right, so here's the finished pieces. I've got this step wedge, I'm calling it, and then the board. I glued this piece on here as well. That way I can just put it in my vise here. That's nice and tight. This goes in here. All right, so after I have it clamped up in here, let's say I'm working with a small piece of wood like this and I want to plane that or carve it. What I do is I just simply place it in here and find which one of these it works in. And what's nice about if I put pressure in this direction, it causes the wedge to go in that direction and it stays nice and solid. So it doesn't move if I use it this way. And then I can use my plane here. And then I'm able to take it out after I get done planing it just by backtracking it a little. So as an example again, I want to plane this surface here. Place the piece of wood in there, the wedge binds on it, and then I can simply run a few passes over and then take it out